know this song.
No, I don't.
Well, you should know this song.
How would I know this song?
You don't know this song?
I don't know this song. I heard the title of it.
Huh?
I heard the title of it.
But you've never heard it before? Friends may come and friends may go. Hey, I got your back.
That was so corny.
That was so corny.
That was so corny. Oh my god.
I felt the corniness.
It's the fact that I knew it was corny and you knew it was.
That was pretty corny.
Yeah, you knew that was corny. You said it.
Sorry. I was trying.
I'll give you an E for effort.
Not an A, but an E.
You don't get an A that time.
Well, hello, Facebook, Instagram, everybody. Thank you so much for joining tonight. I am so super excited to be back here with Moments with Mo. It's been a little while, but that's okay because we're back. And tonight is the kickoff of what I am calling season 2, okay? And season 2 is going to be filled with plenty of co-hosts, plenty of special guests that will join Moments with Mo, because I feel like it's so important for me to share my platform, for us to share our platforms when we have great people to share information with the world. So I do believe that we are going to have a dynamic season 2. Alexa, pause.
Thought she wasn't gonna do it.
I was schooling this one. Y'all know the song Best Friends by Brandy. She was like, Mom, I've never heard that song before. So I'm gonna have to put her on game. But anyway, so this is my co-host tonight. This is Miss Syniah.
Hello.
And Syniah is my firstborn. And I wanted her to join tonight because she's a senior in high school. And I believe that she is in the middle of what I would consider critical years for our teenagers. And so we were talking one day and we were just kind of talking about friendships and relationships, and some of the things that we talked about I felt like was really, really important to just kind of share with the world and have her to kind of speak and let her voice also be heard, especially when it comes to giving outlook and perspective, being a teenager in today's time, and just kind of where we are in life. I am certainly not a teenager. I've been a teenager. I tell her all the time, I wasn't just put on this earth yesterday. I did go through teen years, but we all know that this generation is so different. The things that they have to deal with is so different. The experiences that they go through are so different from when I was a kid or when I was a teenager, even when some of you were teenagers. So I wanted her to come on so that she could just kind of share the platform with me tonight. And I hope you got your teenager. I hope you have, it doesn't matter, your daughter, your son, your nephew, your cousin, anybody, just whoever is in that age bracket of a teenager. I really hope that you have them with you tonight. So without further ado, I am going to allow Syniah to just briefly introduce herself and just tell you a little bit about who she is. So Syniah, take it away.
Okay, hi guys. I've never done something like this before. So this is my first time. My name is Syniah. I'm 17. I turned 18 in February. I'm a senior in high school, also taking college classes, so I'm technically a freshman in college as well. About me. I'm a really happy and jittery person. I don't know. What am I supposed to tell them about
Okay, so tell them a little bit about let's start with a little bit about just our relationship and how we even have been able to have some of these conversations. And even though tonight is not about mother-daughter, I think it's important for the people to know, how you have even been able to be comfortable enough for us to have the kind of the conversations that we've had.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, child.
We have had a very, rough roller coaster,
rough.
all of the above kind of relationship. It has, I can honestly say, it has grown over the years, like a lot,
tremendously.
In these past, maybe I'll say like 2 years, we've gotten like really, really close to where I just come to her anything, gossip. Like if I want to,
she spills the tea, honey.
I was
tea that I'm not even ready for. She spills it, okay?
So like now I just feel like I can just come to her and just tell her anything, almost, just about 99.99% of everything.
Oh, I'll take that. 99.9%. You can't get too much better than that. So I'll take it, especially considering I didn't have someone, a mother that I could tell all of my tea to. So yeah.
But I feel like we're all like that. Me, you, and Ania, we're all really close.
Yeah.
So like, Ania's like my best friend. My mom's like my best friend.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna jump right into some discussion. She has not had an opportunity to see any of the questions that I'm gonna ask. So she is completely unaware of the questions, and I might even put her on the spot a little bit because I think that it's important to not be so rehearsed, but really just to have a casual conversation. So,
thank you.
I'll also, what happened? Oh, hey, Danny. Thank you, hon. Thank you. Hey, Bridget. I see you all are watching. Hey, Darlene. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Joy. Hi, guys and ladies. Actually, not guys. But, okay. So, talk a little bit about your journey through friendships. Like, so first of all, let me just kind of give a backdrop. You know how kids are when they're young, right? They love to, thanks, Danny. They love to call everybody their friend.
Hey,
like,
that's what I was going to say.
I'm going to let you elaborate. I promise I am. But this one was truly the one who was like, everybody's my friend, because they teach that in school, right? They teach that when they're young. They teach that even at Zion's age. Zion's 3, so everybody's his friend. And so as they grow up, sometimes it's hard to differentiate between who's a friend, who's an associate, who's really a frenemy. And so we've had many of these conversations. So talk a little bit about your journey through just understanding and valuing friendships.
Okay, so like she said, I've always been the type of person to say, you're my friend. Like, we could meet, and that same day, I'm like, you want to go hang out? Like, I used to always be like that. I used to be like, you want to be my mom? You want to come over? Like, you got to get close to me so that we can hang out. So I was that person. Like, I want to be friends with everybody. I want everybody to be my friend. As I started getting older, I started realizing that not everybody has to be your friend. Not everybody is your friend. And you have to honestly watch who you call your friend. So I was still that way. I think high school, like my sophomore year, is when I started really analyzing everybody that I would call friend. Like, are you really my friend? Why do I call you my friend? What makes me feel like you're my friend? I'm still a very attachable person. Like, I still want you to like me, but I'm not going to say you're my friend. Like, not everybody deserves to be that close to me is what I've learned. So now I have a very small circle of friends. I'm open to making new friends, but I'm not as quick to call somebody my friend as I used to be.
I would totally agree. I used to have to argue with this one about how, everybody is like her best friend. She would have like 25 best friends, and Oh my gosh, that's like a whole nother conversation. But
I remember being in the grocery store one day and I was like, such and such is my best friend. And he was like, that is not your best friend.
not
You're
your
just
best friend.
met."
It takes a lot to become a best friend, is what I would say.
Hey, Veronica.
Hey, Veronica. Hey, Crystal. So with that being said, talk a little bit about so platonic friendships, right? Those are friendships that you have with anybody. They're guys, girls, whatever, right? So, tell us a little bit about like what goes into now you determining somebody being your friend. Like, what means friendship to you?
So in order to be called my friend, that's a great question.
Told y'all I was gonna put it on the spot.
It's like what do you bring to the table? Maybe not like materialistically, but like as far as I just lost my train of thought. As far as like emotional wise, like what do you bring to me? What is it? I just feel like I don't want a friend that's one-sided. It has to be two-sided. I don't want to feel like I'm going out of my way for you all the time and you're not doing anything. So that's really the main thing that I would use to determine a friend. Like, how much are you giving? Like, not giving, but like, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
so reciprocity, which means giving and receiving.
Not just always wanting,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, also being open to give sometimes. Even though I'm not like a person that just wants to receive all the time, it's just like at least you're offering.
Mm-hmm.
It's the thought that counts, I guess people say. And then also like things that we have in common. We don't have to be the same person, but if we don't have anything in common, what are we doing together? How can we hang out? And you can't be boring. Like, I like exciting friendships. I want to go out and do stuff or try new things, stuff like that.
Okay, so I think what I heard was, one, you consider someone to be a friend when the playing field is somewhat even,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not just always you investing,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's your time, your money, your energy, right? And then the other thing is that you want to have friends that share common interests, which
and
I
loyalty.
think is important. Loyalty,
Yes.
that's a good one. I think that's like
unloyal friends, because it's like, how can I trust you if you're not loyal to me?
So
if I see you being unloyal to someone else, how can I trust that you're being loyal to me when you're doing something behind my back? I mean, doing something behind somebody else's back to me.
Okay.
How do I not know that you're not doing that to me?
So do you take what you see in relationships as it relates to someone who may be displaying their friendship with someone else, and do you relate that to you and determine, do I want to be friends with that person?
Yep, because I learned that the hard way. I had a friend that wasn't
That's
loyal
good.
to somebody else, and I thought she was loyal to me, and she was doing me the same way
Hey, Angie!
that she was doing somebody else.
Okay, so give us an example. Like, what happened in your life that in your 17 years of life and developing friendships, what happened that made you even come to the realization that those three things, you said loyalty, reciprocity, and common interest, what happened over the years in your life that even made those things important to you?
So I can use the loyalty for one.
Okay.
I had a friend, me being friendly and being friends with people all fast.
Hey,
and
Janice.
being nice to people. I got really close to this girl. It was pretty fast. You'll know as I keep going.
Okay.
I got really close to her. I opened up my home to her, let her, because she needed it. And I seen her. She would always come to me, talking to me about this girl and talking bad about her, or saying things like she doesn't want to be friends with her or something like that. Then she'll turn around and be in her face, and I was like, "You're just Okay.
Actions speak louder than words. That's
So
what I'm
then
hearing.
one day, me and her, I don't know how, but she just stopped talking to me. And in my head, I'm thinking she probably did the same thing that she did to the other girl. She was probably doing the same thing to me because that's what she did to her. She just stopped talking to her. She just stopped hanging out with her. Well, when she did that to me, I would start seeing her with her again. She would always be with her. She's always talking to her, or, you know. So that, I was like, I don't like that. And I feel like I allowed her to do that because I knew this girl was talking bad about her. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, maybe she's not doing that to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned that the hard way, that if they doing it to somebody else,
they're probably doing it to you. So
unless it's my closest friends, like them, we could talk about people all day. That sounds bad, but like they won't turn around and talk about me. But that's because we've developed a friendship over years and years of time. This girl, it was like
a new friendship.
Yeah, and it was like a month that we had been friends, and all of this had happened.
So have you heard the saying, a dog that will bring a bone will carry a bone? Have you ever heard that saying? Does it make sense to you, though, after what you just said? A dog that will bring a bone, gossip, whatever, drama, will carry a bone. They will also take gossip, or actually it's the opposite. A dog that will take a bone will bring a bone. So if they're talking about somebody else, 9 times out of 10, they're probably going to talk about you, right? So that's pretty much a good indicator that maybe not so much. I think that's a great indicator. Help us understand why it's important for teenagers to develop healthy, fulfilling, and responsible relationships at this age and stage in your life.
Because you go through a lot.
Okay.
You need, I feel like we need strong support systems, and our family might not always be there. You know, you have some people that, you know, family isn't ever there.
Mm-hmm.
But like me, I can't always call on to you to help me with everything. Even though I could, but I'm not going to always be able to just call you because I need help.
Right.
So having a strong support system, meaning friends, family could be included, but growing friendships is important to be a part of that support system because you need them. And when you need somebody to talk to, or just a listening ear, or vice versa, you can do the same thing for them. You'll have that.
Yeah.
And you can't just have any type of friendship for that. You have to have somebody that you trust to tell stuff, or that trusts you to tell you stuff.
So we're talking about trust in a friendship now. Have you ever had, and I really don't know the answer to this, y'all. Omi says she's taking notes.
Hey, Omi.
Have you ever had a situation where you've had like a friendship with someone, like you guys have established a relationship, you guys are cool, like friends, and there's been a situation or even situations that you need to break that confidentiality and bring in an adult to help you guys navigate through a situation? Because
Did you say you don't know the answer to this?
no, I don't know the answer.
Yes, you do.
Oh, I do?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
To help us through a situation, right?
Yes. To help. Yes. So basically, it's almost kind of like you're breaking confidentiality a little bit to bring in help for that person who may be dealing with, like your friend who may be dealing with something.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Then you don't know.
Huh.
I thought you meant like to help us with the situation we're going through. I was about to say you do know the answer to that.
No.
Okay. Have I ever had that? I don't think so. I'm trying to think of all my friends, the few that I have. No.
That's never really been an issue. How would you handle that? What if you had somebody who they are going through something that's like major and they need help? Like, you're their friend, they come to you because they need your support, but at what point do you say, okay, we need to talk to somebody else to help you through this situation?
I mean, I'm the type of person that I don't want the situation to get bad. So early on into it, that I feel like you need help, I want to catch it right then and there. I don't want to wait until you're stuck and now it's going to be hard because you've been going through this and you haven't talked to anybody, when you first realize it, you can start talking to somebody before it gets, really bad. So I would, if I was in that position, it would be early. When I realize I can't do anything for you besides keep telling you the same things and that's not working, then I would bring
somebody else in. Okay, so let's talk about. I'm scared. Do you think that it is possible at your age?
Hey, Kadeja.
At your age, hey, Kaday. Do you think that it's possible to have platonic, which is a platonic friendship is a non-romantic, just cool, we straight cool friendship with the opposite sex?
I think it's very possible.
Tell me why. Tell us why.
Because not every...
We love you, Gina. Hey, honey.
Hey, Regina.
Hey, Derek.
Not every opposite sex relationship has to be romantic. I have plenty of guy friends. Okay, so I can't speak for them if they've ever had feelings or they ever wanted to talk to me. I can't speak for that. But as far as how far a relationship has gone, I have plenty of guy friends that have just been friends all my life.
So how do you teenagers develop platonic relationships with the opposite sex? Like, how does that happen?
Wait.
How do you develop friendships with the opposite sex?
It's just like...
We have a visitor. Hi, son.
Hi.
Can you go with your sister for just a little bit? I promise we'll be done in just a few minutes, okay? I got a treat for you. Go with Sissy.
What is it?
I'll tell you when we get done, okay?
It's so exciting.
Okay. That's our friend, too.
How do you develop them?
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same as when you develop a female friend.
So it's you don't think that there's much difference?
Because we go to school, we go out places. Like me, I work or I go to school. So I work with boys. I go to school with boys. So I can't just be friends with girls all my life. I mean, I could.
No, I get it.
I just feel like it's the same as when you develop a female friend, as long as from the jump. Well, I can't even say that because you could develop a romantic. I don't know. I just feel like it's possible.
It just kind of happens.
Yeah.
Do you have a conversation? Like, say for instance, the other person is interested in more, but you're not. Do you have a conversation about that? Is that something that you talk about and then you establish that we're gonna just be friends, or do they shoot their shot and you're like, no, but we can be cool? Like, how does that even happen? Because it's very easy to develop a relationship, a friendship with someone of the same sex.
Right.
But sometimes I think that, especially with teenagers, there are, ulterior motives, and even with adults. I'm not even gonna say with just teenagers, because I think it happens with adults too, but even more so with teenagers, because you guys are all over the place. Right. Hormones are raging. You're trying to figure things out. So do you have that conversation, or do you just let it organically become a platonic friendship?
I mean, when you first start a friendship, it's not always going to be like the point of the friendship is because I want to talk to you. It's not always like that. So I feel like I really don't have that conversation unless it comes up.
Okay.
And if it comes up and, down the line in our friendship, you feel like, hey, I want to be more. And I'm like, hey, I don't really want to be more. It's kind of like we just have that conversation of we're better off as friends, or whatever the reasoning is as to why I feel like we should just be friends. And then after that, if he decides he doesn't want to be friends anymore, then that's on you.
You just move around.
Like, I just told you, maybe it just wasn't that time, or maybe I just wasn't interested. So,
but the point is that you specifically can have and she does. She has quite a few long-standing friends of the opposite sex that she has been friends with since like elementary school, and I often wonder like how do they develop that friendship. She's got one that she calls her best friend, and and they genuinely are best friends, but I just wanted to know like how that relationship develops.
Well, that's a great example because we have been friends for a long time, and that conversation has had to be had.
Oh.
But
oh, I didn't
you
know that.
Yes,
No,
you knew this.
No, I never knew this conversation had to be had.
It's had to be had on multiple occasions. Some on my part, some on his part.
Okay.
But it's just we've just always established that we're better off as friends, and it hasn't never been awkward. It hasn't ever been like, okay, well now we can't be friends because we feel like feelings are involved. It's never been like that. We've always been able to be best friends no matter what.
Hey, Erica.
Hey.
And I think that Angie said set boundaries, which
Yes.
I think is really important, right? With any friendship, it's important to set boundaries. Do you set boundaries in your friendships?
Yes.
How do you set boundaries? Like, how do you communicate to your friends that, like, these are boundaries for me?
I feel like my actions do it. It's like I'm not gonna let you do but so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never had someone just cross boundaries with me, because I feel like a boundary for me would be like, just don't cross me. You know what I mean?
Like betrayal?
Yeah. And I've never had anybody, or like, don't try to take advantage of me or something like that. I've never had
Anybody
really
do that.
And if it is, then I'll say something. I'll physically, like, I'll say with my mouth, like, I don't like that. And if it happens again, then I don't know how long we can be friends.
So I remember, like, back in the day, you kind of was you would be a little nervous about like friends, like people not wanting to be your friend anymore if you spoke up.
Right.
Is that your situation anymore? No.
I speak for myself.
You speak for yourself.
Hey, Miss Marilyn.
Hey, Marilyn. You speak for yourself. You set your boundaries, and it sounds like you teach people how to treat you.
I've had to learn that, though. Like, that's just not something I've always known how to do.
Okay, tell us about that. When you say you had to learn that.
You have always said, teach people how to treat you. And so, like, so I've just always, like, ever since then, it's just been like, I've had to learn, how do you really teach somebody how to treat you? Like, when I first heard it, I was like, how am I supposed to do that? I can't tell them what to do. They're going to do what they want anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, now I'm to the point where teaching somebody how to treat me is just not letting them do certain stuff. And if I have to speak up, then I will. And if it's a friendship that I lose, then it's just not a friendship that was for me in the first place.
I like that. So a lot of times you don't necessarily have to just say something verbally. Sometimes it's just when you see things going in a different direction, then is when you might need to say something.
Right. I don't say anything off the jump. I never have been the person to just come off the jump. This is how I want you to treat me. And if you can't treat me like this, then we can't be friends. Like,
So you don't have friend contracts?
No, it's like I'm gonna see where this goes, and that's how I know how to treat this friendship.
I make my friends sign friend
Oh
contracts.
I would believe that you would do something.
I'm just kidding. I don't. Marilyn, have you ever signed a friend contract? I'm just kidding.
I feel like you would do something. Here's my contract. You have 2 days to read it and give it back.
If you need your attorney to sign to review. Okay, so how do you think friendships...
She said, really, Mo?
Okay, so how do you think friendships affect teenagers and their overall perspective of themselves, their overall outlook of themselves?
It depends
Like-
on the friendship.
Yeah, so talk about some of your friendships and how their influence has affected, your outlook or your perspective or even just your behavior,
Okay. So I've had some friendships in the past. I've had some friendships because we're not friends anymore. But I've had some friendships in the past that have made me feel like like my self-worth has gone down or my self-esteem has gone down because of like the way that they would talk to me or the way that they would say things about me to my face, which I mean I would want them to say it to me, but still I just feel like some things are just out of line. So I've had some of those friendships. Of course,
put a pin there for 1 second, because you said that you had friendships that were, say what you just said again,
that have
made your
my self-worth.
How? What kind of things did they do or say that would make you feel like your self-worth? Because this is important, right? Like our teenagers, as they're developing friendships, and even again as we're adults, this kind of thing can be very, very real if you don't pick the right kind of friends. So talk a little bit about what kind of things did a person that was a friend did to make you feel like your self-esteem or your self-worth.
So
dropped.
like I'm really thinking about one person at the moment, but she would do stuff like she'll be on the phone around me and like she'll be talking to the person but talking about me, and it'll be joking, but it was like after repetitive joking, it's not a joke anymore. And if I'm not laughing with you, it's not a joke. So stuff like that she would do, or like she would try to boost herself up and make me feel less than her, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
So just, little stuff like that.
Are you still friends with that person today?
I'm not still friends with her. We recently have started talking again, but I don't think I would ever consider her my friend again.
So when you realized that the joke was on you, how did you navigate through? Was that the end of the friendship, or did you just have a conversation and set those boundaries? Like, what happened when you started to realize that this is affecting me?
I started to distance myself, like be around her less, because I would be around her all the time. Like, we were that close that we were always together. So I just started slowly separating myself from her, or slowly distancing myself. We wouldn't be together as much. We wouldn't talk as much. And, I mean, she would wonder why, but I didn't really care to give her a reason.
I like that. Okay, so what impact do your friends have on your social life?
My social life?
Yeah, the very social and active life.
They are my social life. Like, my friends are my social life, who I'm social with. Go out.
Do you go out with all your friends?
If I call you a friend, yeah.
Because you have a tendency, like, you'll have
one friend that I'm with
you are
all
focused
the
on
time.
all the time. Oh, the camera is not all the way on you.
I need to scoot over something.
Come on over, girl. Come on over, girl. She has a tendency that when she has a friend, especially if it's a new friend, and I get it because you're developing that relationship and you're trying to figure things out, but she will put like all of her energy, all of her time into that one person, and all of her other friendships, to me, they kind of suffer because she doesn't really spread her time and her energy with her friends. So,
I think I've gotten better at that, though.
okay, go ahead. Keep telling me about that.
About what?
How you've gotten better. Angie says, sometimes we starve the friendship by separating versus feeding it with the truth. So there is an understanding on both sides. I like that. I like that. Let's talk about that a little bit. Have you had to have like real conversation with somebody, like the ugly truth? And if you have,
we fell out, and we had to have the conversation before we could even
get back friends.
But
but what about a friend? Like a real friend now. Have you had to go to that person with, something that maybe they don't like, and maybe you don't even like delivering it, and then how was their response to you afterwards? Because a lot of times our friends don't like to hear the truth. So have you had that experience?
I've never had to go to someone, but someone has had to come to me.
Oh, okay.
I've been that friend that, like, they've had to come to me.
They don't
and
have to tell you,
me.
simmer down. Simmer down, girl.
They had to come to me and tell me about myself.
But
But I don't think I've ever had a friend that I had to, besides when we fell out, but like,
in the friendship.
right, I've never had to just go to them with something major with a conversation.
So how did you feel about having somebody to get you all the way together?
It didn't feel good.
Okay.
It didn't, but it did. I didn't like to hear it,
Mhm.
but it felt good to know that I have a friend that would do something like that
Mhm.
and not just let me go out here doing whatever I was doing to stop me, or not stop me, but you know, open my eyes to things that I was doing if I didn't notice it myself. Yeah.
So you were able to take it and not be offended.
I felt some type of way.
You were offended?
Not offended. I just felt some type of way because it was like, dang. But I couldn't feel but so much because it was me that was doing it. So it was like I had to look at myself to figure out what am I doing.
So you
Or
were
how to
able to
fix
look
it.
at yourself. You weren't defensive or like trying to prove a point or
It was just like, dang, I really do this. I didn't even think that I did.
yeah. Okay. What do you think is, in your opinion, one of the hardest things about friendships today? What's one of the hardest things?
Sharing a friend.
Okay.
I'm the type of person that I have quite a few friends, but I don't like to share them. And it sounds really hypocritical because it's like they have to share me, but I don't like sharing my friends. When I want to do something and you're telling me that you're with another friend, I'm like,
You feel some type
another
of way.
friend. I do that to Cameron all the time. I'll be like, can we just? I'm with Jayla.
We share that in common.
Like, no, you can't have other friends. I'm your only friend.
Yeah, but they can have. But
I
you
can
can
have
have
other
other friends, but they can't have other.
And
friends.
we can all be friends together. But like,
Yeah.
I have a hard time mixing my friends though. But I think I'm getting better at it.
I don't think you have a hard time mixing your friends.
I just always feel like when they come together, it's awkward.
Really?
That's what I mean when I say I have a hard time. Yeah, we might all be in the same room, but it's like me and this group of friends, like for instance, me, Cameron, Jayla, that group, and then me when I was really close to Caitlin and Jade and them, it was like Cameron could mix because she knew them, but the rest of them, it was just kind of like
hard to intertwine.
Yeah, and I'm the type of person that I want all my friends to be friends so that we could all hang out together and not have to feel like I have to split my time between everybody, if that makes sense. Sometimes I want to all be together.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. How do you feel about if your friends that you bring together end up becoming becoming friends? Like they end up becoming friends.
That's not your friend.
Ah!
That's my friend. Y'all are friends when I'm around. I'm just playing.
No, you're not.
Kind of, a little bit. I'm playing just a tiny bit. No, but for real, I feel like y'all can be friends, but when you forget how y'all got friends, I'm just like, y'all can't be closer. Like y'all can't create this friendship, and now y'all leave me out.
So it's not that you have a problem with them being friends. It's that you don't want to be left out of the friendship or the
I don't know if I want them to have a separate friendship.
You know that's manipulation, right?
I know, but I don't just say y'all can't have a separate friendship.
She said, "Girl, that could be a
serious
issue." I can truly speak on that. Yeah, like I think we've all experienced that in some way, because I know that I used to be really possessive of my friends as well, but I've had to get over it because what happens is you can't stop it, so you might as well just
live with it.
Yeah, and hope that the friendship that they develop doesn't overshadow the friendship that you have with both of them individually, right? So let's go deep. What would you say to teenagers today who need help navigating friendships, in their life, and they don't really have or trust a adult or someone that is more experienced with them, with friendships. What would you say to somebody like that who just, they need help because their friends are toxic, their friends are takers, their friends don't bring anything to the table, but this person needs to understand and get advice on how to develop friendships? Like, what would you say to somebody like that? Especially in this day and time where, you know, it's hard to come by a good friend.
So they don't have anybody.
They may
just
have
don't have their parents.
Whoever, any adult that could be a positive influence. Well, we have a terror in the building.
Zion, you can't be in here right now.
Zion, just give me a few more minutes, okay?
But Sissy said I can't have my treat.
I'm gonna give it to you, but you gotta let us finish, okay? I promise, pinky swear.
Is it gonna be a robot?
I don't think it's gonna be a robot.
What is it gonna be?
I'm gonna tell you afterwards. Bye.
No.
What would you? So
Zion, where are you going?
1,
Mommy, I want a snack.
2,
I want a snack, Mommy.
3,
Mommy.
4,
Mommy.
5.
Snack.
Marilyn said, "Hey Zion." Okay, so what would you say to someone who needs that help and that guidance from a trusted adult, or you know, a positive influence to help them navigate friendships?
I don't know. It's kind of hard when you don't have anybody. Like, you don't have any adult or somebody that's been through it to help you.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that's been important to you in terms of having someone as you are developing and trying to understand friendships in your own?
Yeah, because it may not always be you, but it's somebody that's been through a friendship. Like I have a older sister, well, somebody that I call my older sister, and
You got a lot of older sisters.
I have one. Who else do I call my older sister?
You call Kadeja your older sister?
Oh, that's my god sister. Okay, but I'm talking. That's my god sister. I'm talking about like she's my sister. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She'll help me sometimes, and you know she's closer to age with me,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like we kind of see things eye to eye.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, if I'm wrong, and she's gonna tell me I'm wrong. So I really don't know what I would do in my life with friendships without people to help me get through.
So how can we as parents support teenagers like you in your journey of developing friendships? Because I remember a time where I wanted so badly to pick all your friends, and that didn't happen the way that I had planned. And so I had to learn how to back off. But, you know, what would you say to parents, like parents that are watching? Maybe their children aren't teenagers right now, or maybe they are. But what advice from a teenager to a parent would you give to a parent to support their teen as they are going through this journey of creating friendships, developing friendships, and maintaining friendships?
Can't do it for them. You have to let them learn. You have to let us learn on our own, because if you just try to tell us stuff, then we can't learn it. So it's like you're pretty much doing it for us. So when you're not there and we want to learn it on our own, it's like all we know is what you're telling us, not what we learn on our own, because every situation is different.
Mm-hmm.
And every friendship is different, and the way you handle a friendship, every friendship is different. So I would tell a parent to let me learn on my own. No, but let your child learn on their own.
This one, her favorite phrase is, "Mom, let me live my life and figure it out." And I'm like, girl,
some things I want to just learn, and if it's a consequence, then I have to face that consequence. but I don't want you to do everything for me.
No, I get that. I get that. And I realize that picking friends is not one of those things, like, especially when it comes to people that I haven't so much liked. I've always just kind of given you my opinion about them and told you just from an outsider, looking in what I see. But at the end of the day, like, I really do try to trust that you know how to pick your friends. And then I'm in my prayer closet praying that demon away.
Hey, Dory.
No, like, seriously. Hey, cousin. I'm somewhere trying to pray a hedge of protection over you, because there are people that are out there who may see what you have. They may see and not that we just have like so much, but we're blessed, right? Like we're good. Yeah, and sometimes when you have somebody that's on the outside looking in who can provide that advice, it's like I try to give that advice, but not really pick your friends for you, because I don't want to push you closer to those people. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at your lashes. They look so good. Oh
Thank
my gosh. So pretty.
Thank you, girl. Thank you. Y'all, listen, this is us. Like, if you know us, you know that this is just really who we are. So do you have any like last words, any last thoughts as it relates to friendships? Because next week we're going to be talking about love interest, and it's a whole nother conversation. But for the sake of friendships, do you have anything else that you want to share with the people, with me, that you just want to, say?
Friends come and go. And as you
Friends
like to say,
may come and friends may go. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
and as you like to say, seasons. They have seasons. Friendships have seasons, and sometimes that person's season might be over. Like, and don't be scared to get out of the friendship, because you may feel like you're gonna miss the memories. Yeah, it's gonna be hard, but you're gonna grow as a person when you get toxic people out of your life, or just people that shouldn't be your friend. You'll grow so much once they're gone. So I feel like if you need help getting out of a friendship, find somebody that you can talk to that can, school you on getting out of a bad friendship.
I like what you just said, that, don't be afraid to let go of a friendship, because sometimes I think we do hold on to toxic friendships just because we just love that, or we think we love that person so much, or we want them in our space so much, and they're not good for us.
Or they've been around for so long, and it's like, how am I supposed to not be friends with you? Because I've had that issue. It's like, now what? I've been around you for so long. I might have other friends, but you have been my friend.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I should have been let you go, but I'm having to really let you go. And it's hard.
I used to always say, don't have friends that tolerate you. Have friends that celebrate you. And so that means that sometimes you got to clean house. Sometimes you got to let go. Sometimes you got to be okay with the pain that may come with that separation, but knowing, like you said a few minutes ago, that you're going to be a better person once you get that toxicity out of your life. Hey, Mika.
Hey, Auntie.
And Joyce says she is speaking so much knowledge. Yes, she has a lot of wisdom, and that is exactly why I wanted her to co-host with me today to talk about friendships in the teen world, because I've seen her navigate friendships. I've seen her go from the whole world is her friend to her having a very selected, and I think a very positive group of friends. And one thing about you, finally I like all your friends, girl. One other thing that I really like about you is that you have friends from so many different age groups. Like,
it used to be I used to have all younger friends.
Yes.
All my friends used to be, they could be a month younger than me, but they still younger than me. All my friends used to be younger.
Mm-hmm.
But then at one point, I used to be the person that I was the youngest one, and all my friends were older. But now I think I have
A healthy,
I have older friends. I have friends that are the same age as me.
yeah.
I have friends that are younger than me.
Yes, Gina. Gina said, "Can I ask a question? Please ask a question."
Ooh, I'm scared. No, I'm really scared for next week.
Oh, y'all, we got some good stuff to talk about next week with these boys.
I don't want to talk about it.
Ooh, honey, child,
Can we
these
just
boys,
not talk
these
about
boys.
them?
Let's see what Gina has to say before we wrap up tonight. Well, I want to say thank you. Thank you for rushing off of work to be here. And
It was so hard. I was like, I gotta go. I have to leave. I'm supposed to be home.
Gina, what's your question, lady? My niece has a
It
question.
takes a while to load.
Oh, it takes a while.
Yeah, it's a delayed process.
Well, I love you, and I'm so grateful to have you as my co-host.
Take a screenshot.
Take a screenshot, send it to us. Take another one. We are so silly. All right. Well, she says, how do you handle pressure as such a beautiful young lady? That's a good question. How do you mean pressure as
probably like other people?
Pressure from like her friends, or what kind of pressure, niece, are you talking about?
Like,
what would you?
I feel like jealousy type of pressure, or like, cause that's what I would think.
Okay, so how would you? Let's kind of start there before she responds. As she's responding, what would you say how you handle pressure, like jealousy pressure?
I don't care. If you're jealous of me, I just feel like why? You're your own person, and I feel like if you're jealous of me, then you need to.
From females and boys.
I feel like you need to learn yourself. Like, look at yourself, because everybody is a different person. There's no reason why you should be jealous. Jealousy, especially.
Jealousy.
I feel like there's no reason to be jealous of someone else. And I'm saying that, and I will say I'm jealous of such and such, but it's not really like I'm really jealous of it. It's just like me just saying it, I guess. Pressure from boys. How do I handle that? I just kind of, I think because I'm so strong-minded, that like I don't let boys pressure me into things. And they try it, but I mean, I might kiki ha with you, but that don't mean that I'm letting you pressure me.
Oh, we're gonna get into some boy pressure on the next episode of Moments with Mo, because trust me, that's a great question to ask. So, well, again, we thank you so very much for joining us tonight and for being a part of Moments with Mo Teen Edition. We have more to come. We hope that you have a great night. Any last comments that you want to say? She is feeling herself over here, child.
No.
She is not thinking. Candace said, your twin. Yeah, I would say so. Screenshot. All right, guys. We love you. Have a good night. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.